Hi everyone, welcome back to my Beauty Times 2. So today I decided to do a crazy green eye for you guys because St. Patrick's Day is around the corner and we are going to have a lot of fun and celebrate. And for everyone going to parties next weekend and on St. Patrick's Day, I thought this would be an amazing fun look to do. It's super green, it's super out there, and it's like I had a lot of fun doing it and hopefully you guys will too. And that's it. So please remember to subscribe and leave any comments down below if you have any questions or any suggestions. And check us out on Instagram. Our Instagram is mybeautytimes2 with an S in it. And that's it. Bye guys.
Hi guys, okay, to start off this look, as usual, we are using Painterly from MAC, and I'm just spreading that all over my eyelids with my Real Techniques brush. I really love this brush to put Painterly on because Painterly is a creamy base, and I just like that it spreads it all over without creasing. And I'm putting that on my eyelids and under my eyes, basically anywhere where eyeshadow is going to go, and I want it to stay as long as possible. That's where I'm putting Painterly. Next, I'm getting tape off the back of my hand, and make sure you guys take it off the back of your hand so it's not that sticky, because if you put it straight on your face, it will be sticky and it will hurt your face. And you just want to align that with the corners of your eyebrow. Next, I am using a white eyeliner pencil. It's a fat eyeliner pencil. It can be any pencil, and I'm just spreading that all over my eyelid because usually I would use a black base, but because I want the green to be as bright as possible and not dulling at all, I'm using a white base. And this will really make the green pop out, and it is St. Patrick's Day, so we want to be as crazy and fun as possible. Next, I'm using an Urban Decay green neon pencil for the inner corner and all the way to the middle of my eye. And I have to say that I really love the consistency of these pencils. It's just as creamy as an eyeshadow, and it spreads very well, and it's really easy to manipulate. So I just spread that all over my inner corner to the middle of my eye, and make sure you guys get it as close to the inner corner as possible because we want it to be, we're gonna eventually take the inner corner and bring it down our tear duct. As you guys can see, I'm basically just coloring my eyelid in. I don't even have to blend it or do anything with it. It just stays. It's a really great pencil, and they have them in every color, which is awesome. Next, I am using a STILA pigment, and I totally dropped it out of my hand because I was talking to my mom, and clearly I can't multitask when I'm doing makeup. So I was just trying to show you guys that it's really pigmented, and it's like a teal, greeny blue. I don't know. I love these pigments. I have a gold one as well, and I love the texture of them. Usually people mix them with the drops that they come with, but I like to use them just like that. And I'm just spreading that on the middle of my eye and leaving the inner corner just with the green. And I'm just patting that with my finger because if you try to use a brush, it actually ends up being a lot harder. Now I'm taking my Morphe palette and I'm just using a light brown neutral color, and I'm going to spread that on the outer V of my eye and along the crease. And I'm basically just doing that to just have a neutral color in the crease, make sure that everything blends very well together because we don't want any harsh lines sticking out. As you guys can see, I'm really going in with that brown, and I'm taking it all the way into the inner corner. Next, from that same Morphe palette, I'm using a very dark purple, and I'm mixing it with a black. And the reason I did that was because I did want a black outer corner, but I didn't want it to be so black that it took away from the green of the eye, because I didn't want it to be smoky. I just wanted it to be a very green shimmery color, and in order to have the black on the ends, I mixed it with the purple so it would be a dulling black, so it didn't take away from any of the gorgeousness and glamour of the green. And the beauty of using tape is that you can really go crazy and you can really be messy, and the tape will take it, and once you take all that tape off, it'll have a nice smooth edge, so even if you mess up, the tape will catch it and it'll be okay. Next, I'm just applying my eyeliner. I'm using a Maybelline gel liner, which is one of my favorites, and I'm going in with my velour lashes. And my brother started FaceTiming me while I was putting my lashes on, and clearly I tried to multitask, but that wasn't working. So next I went in with my Too Faced chocolate bar palette, which I love to death, and I smell it every single time I open it because it just smells so good and it makes me want to eat chocolate. And I just used that white base and put it on my brow bone. Now it's time for the big unveiling. I took all the tape off and look at that line. Oh, you gotta love it. I love that line. I love how clean it looks, and that's one of the main reasons I love using tape. Next, I'm going in with my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the color dark brown, and I'm just doing my brows really quickly. There's really nothing to it. I just fill in all the sparse areas and I make it seem as natural as possible, because who likes eyebrows that seem super fake? And if you guys think it gets too dark when you apply a dip brow pomade on, you can always use the spoolie at the end and kind of use it as like a blender and just blend all the color out where you want it to disappear. I love doing my eyebrows. It's probably one of the main things that I can't walk out of the house with, because it makes such a difference when I do my eyebrows and when I don't. Next, I'm going in with my new Smashbox primer, and if you guys saw our last video, our Sephora haul, this was one of our favorite products that we just got, and I'm just spreading that all over my face with my clean hands, of course, really getting in all the areas that I want to be as matte and porcelain as possible. Now I'm going in with my latest love, my NARS foundation in the color Syracuse, and I'm just putting that on the back of my hand, and I only use 2 pumps, and you can see how small those 2 pumps are, but they really go a long way. And I'm just spreading that on the back of my hand because I like the foundation to break up a little and get warm a little before I put it on my face. And I'm just using a normal foundation brush. It can be any foundation brush, and I'm just buffing that all over my face. As you guys can see, I do have a lot of acne scars, and look how beautifully this foundation covers it all. I just can't get enough of it. I love this foundation to death. When you're applying foundation, make sure that you guys go underneath your eyes as well, and not just stop like right beneath your bag area. And make sure that you guys get your whole chin and your whole upper lip area, as well as your T-zones, as heavily as possible. I had a little bit of foundation left on the back of my brush, and usually my mom always says just take it off in the beginning, and I don't like to do that because I like that there's like a little surprise waiting, a foundation waiting for me on the back of my brush that I get to apply. Next, I'm just doing my neck really quickly because we don't want our face to be a completely different color than our neck, and we want everything to be seamless and smooth and porcelain. And I'm also going over my collarbones a little bit because usually I don't wear shirts that are that high necked, and so I like to cover as much of my neck as possible. Next, I'm going in with a super fine liner because I thought, hey, this is St. Patrick's Day, why not add a double wing and put a white center in the middle, because we're just going crazy with this look. So I used a flat definer brush and I just dipped it in a wet,
I'm just using a
you guys can dip it in Matte Fix Plus,
white
but I like
eyeshadow color on the between the 2 wings, and to get that creamy substance, I just dipped my flat definer brush in a
water substance. You guys can even use Max Fix Plus if you want. I just use my Evian bottle, and I'm just going in and adding a white center to that. It's a little difficult if this is your first time doing it, but just follow the beginning wing and it'll get much easier. Gotta make sure them lips are not chapped. I'm just using my EOS chapstick, which I love. And now I'm just going in with my NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Biscuit, and I'm just putting that on my wonderful bags, and I'm just blending that out with my beauty blender. You guys have to make sure it's damp, otherwise it will not work. I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime to highlight, and I'm just going in a V. So I'm basically going down the side of my nose and going up where my cheekbone first begins. And I'm just spreading that all over and making a triangle motion and filling that triangle in. It took me a really long time to perfect the way I highlight, because on my face it's not as easy as it is on other people's faces. It took me a really long time, but I promise you, if you guys keep watching videos and if you guys keep trying to learn, you will get there if you're having the same problem as me. So I also just put it down the center of my nose and feathered it out on my forehead, as well as a little bit on my chin and on my cupid's bow. And I'm just blending that in. If you guys saw my video with my brother where he was doing my makeup, he created a little song and he was like, just keep blending, just keep blending. So that's basically all I say now when I'm blending. Now to contour, I'm using my STILA CC cream in the color Warm, and I made a really weird face. So basically, if you make a fishy face and push your whole face up, it creates this natural contour line and it shows you exactly where to put the lines. So that's basically what I did. It's my mom's little trick and it works wonders. And I'm just blending that out with another Real Techniques tools brush. It's important to make sure that you guys blend towards your hairline, because if you blend it down your face, that ruins the whole purpose of contouring. You have to blend up in order to create that shaded area. Now to set all the cream contour areas, I'm using my new favorite Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Palette. And we got it on our Sephora haul, but we just forgot to mention it because we were having it shipped to us because all the Sephoras near us ran out of it. So I'm using that Shade Light palette to contour my nose because I don't like to cream contour on my nose. I just think it makes a very harsh line that doesn't look natural. And to blend that out, I'm just using my fingers. I like to use my fingers, but you can use a brush if you want. I'm using the middle darkest shade and the darkest shade to very slowly chisel out my cheekbones where the cream contour is. And I'm using those same colors on my forehead and blending up to the hairline, just so we have a bit of shadow up there. And I'm using the same exact colors on my jawline. And when you use it on your jawline, it's important to blend downwards so there isn't just a harsh line on your jaw. When you take pictures, it'll really be noticeable. Now I'm taking the foundation brush, and whatever's left on that foundation brush, I'm just lightly dabbing it on to the contour areas, like right above the contour areas, just so there's a nice transition from dark to light. And I'm using the light colors, the two of the light colors in the Kat Von D palette, just to set my highlight areas. That's me talking to my mom, telling her, yes, I blended everything out, don't worry. I'm just going in with my LA Girl Cosmetics black gel liner, which of course everyone knows is my favorite liner to use on my waterline. It's the best liner, it stays on all night long. What more can you ask for? Now, instead of using an eyeshadow beneath my waterline, I decided to use that same crazy Urban Decay pencil because, again, it's St. Patrick's Day, why not? And it matched the top, and it actually looks really pretty, and I just connected it with my tear duct. I'm just applying mascara to my lower lashes. Please don't forget to do that because it just looks weird if you have falsies on and your bottom lashes don't have any mascara on. Now I'm going in with my BH Cosmetics Glamorous palette, and I used the pink shade and the neutral shade to apply to the apples of my cheeks. I really love using this palette because it's a very buildable palette. You can put a little bit of color and then you can keep adding on to it without making it look too crazy. For lips, I am using an NYX lip pencil in the shade dark brown, and I'm just spreading that all over my lips as well as outlining my lips because I really want my lipstick to stay on all night long, and I learned that for my lips personally that this is a great way for my lipstick to stay on all night. It makes sure that the lipstick stays there and it doesn't move. Then I'm using an NYX butter lip butter, and it is a brown gray, which I really didn't think would look good on me, but I got it at IMATS and I have since fallen in love with it. And that is the final look, guys. I really hope you guys like it, and leave any comments down below if you have any, and please remember to like and share. Bye, guys.